Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 40. 40 days. If we had been fasting at the end of today, we would have broken that fast, but our fast is longer. We are sticking with this until we get to day 90. Can you imagine? Today is day 40. So that even if you had missed some of the days, that means you have 40 hours of content for you to catch up with. But most importantly, 40 hours of practical ideas you can implement to transform the rest of this year for yourself. Welcome back, Victor. I see you. Ondungi has arrived too. So here we are. This week, we transitioned from last week's subject. Last week, we spoke about clarity the whole week. Clarity, because clarity is the single most underrated component of your daily life as a source of power, as an influential source that shapes the direction you move towards. Clarity is, as we agreed, a foundation on which we build everything else. So this week, we speak about necessity. And I'm going to try to not make this a lecture because we have practical work to do. I shared with you that model of looking at the endpoint of your goals using the model of LIFE, where LIFE is just an acronym for you to remember the components, where L stands for legacy, I stands for impact, F stands for freedom, and E stands for energy. It can be energy, it can be excellence, it can be, you can replace it with whatever you want, but that is a simple way for you to remember. Legacy, impact, freedom, and energy. So that the goals you are pursuing, the clearer you become about which of those elements your goals touch on, the easier it is for you to create a clearer picture of what it would look like once it's completed. And so today we are going to start off by sharing our goals again. And this is for everybody on the call. Even if you haven't written your goals, you will just share what you have right now. And I want you to rattle through them really quickly. And this is a test of how quickly and how easily you can say it. You're not explaining anything. If you start saying it and it's not clear, it means there is more work to be done to clarify that goal. Because it's supposed to be so easy that when you are waiting maybe for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, you can actually run through your goals in your mind so that they are at your fingertips at any time. So for the people on the Zoom call right now, I'm going to call out your names and you give us your goals as succinctly and as quickly as you can. So you have maximum 30 seconds to do that, starting with Elena.
Grand Rising, everyone. My first goal is to write 4 articles on a monthly basis, that is 300 words daily. To successfully defend my thesis and graduate, number 2. Number 3 is to get a net worth of $40,000. Number 4 is to attain 60 kgs of weight through regular exercise and yoga. Number 5 is to expand my worldview through reading and 1 trip annually. Number 6 is to speak fluent French. Number 7 is to practice public speaking. Number 8 is to have an accountability with myself and hold daily and weekly meetings. Number 9, is to pivot my career towards strategy and consulting. And number 10 is to run a dropshipping company on a part-time basis.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Elena. Most of your goals have reached a level of specificity. The one I like best in terms of specificity is to write 300 words every day, such that you have come to what we called yesterday a lead measure. You are measuring the input, because that's one thing you have total control over. And so I would like you to apply the same principle to all the other goals. So for example, speaking French is the outcome. That is the lag measure. The lead measure is learn how many French vocabulary a day, or spend how many minutes practicing or learning French per day. So I want to encourage you to make sure you break down your goals to the lead measures. What is the input that is going in to make the goal possible? So, for example, expand your worldview by reading. Question is, how much are you reading per day or per week? Break it down.
One chapter.
Yes, excellent. So that's the goal. So the goal is reading one chapter every day. You know the outcome, right? There is what is going to happen is your mind will be expanded. But what is the lead measure? What is it you can measure every day so that you know for sure whether you are moving towards that goal? Thank you, Elena. And now let's move on to Brainy. What are your 10 goals, Brainy?
Grand Rising, everyone. So my first goal is I'm running a successful business for online Chinese course with 15 clients. The second goal is I'm doing meditation for 5 minutes right after I wake up. My third goal is I'm listening to inspirational audio after meditating for 15 minutes every day. My fourth goal is I'm working out 3 times a week for 5 minutes at 7:30. That's on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. My fifth goal is I'm taking time off social media. And if I go on social media, I won't spend more than 5 minutes. This another goal is I'm eating healthy food. The next goal is I'm drinking 3 glasses of water every day. Another goal is I'm taking myself out twice in a month. The fourth goal is I'm being mindful of my thoughts and emotions. Another goal is I'm living a holistic lifestyle and being grateful for everything in my life. And the last goal is recording my audio on Anchor twice a week on my personal growth journey. Oh, I'll finish.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Brainy. I think I would encourage you to also see go through all your goals and figure out. For some of them, it's very clear or in terms of what you can measure whether or not you accomplished that goal on the day you sent it. I know that one of your overarching goal currently is to create courses on Chinese. I haven't heard about that goal. So you would find room for it and break it down to measurable lead activities, high value activities that will enable you to know whether or not you are on course towards achieving that goal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for interruption, but that was my first goal.
Oh, okay. I probably missed it. Maybe, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so excellent. Thank you. Let's hear from James.
Hi, as quickly as I can, here are my goals. I am becoming a consistent learner by studying for 5 hours a day. I am becoming proficient on Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere Pro by practicing for about 1 hour every day. I am raising 50,000 for my investment project. I am writing every day for 20 minutes. I am reading one book every month on either personal or financial development, at least 1 hour every day. I am talking to my mentors. I am looking and talking to my mentors in the fields of academics, finances, and relationships. I am doing 50 push-ups every day. I am drinking 2 glasses of water. I am writing down my goals every morning. I am keeping my goals with me at all times. I am I am looking to find a therapist for some of the issues I am dealing with at the moment.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Excellent. Some of your goals have already been broken down to the actual activities. I want to encourage you, and this would apply to everyone who has shared and everyone who is going to share. Any lifestyle goal that you have, you need to already make up your mind what time that is going to happen. So, for example, push-ups. Are you doing all those push-ups in the morning, or are you doing all of them in the evening, or are you splitting them? For example, if there is something that Brainy has done with some of our lifestyle goals, where you have already determined how much time it's going to be and what time it's going to go into. If you have a lifestyle goal, then you need to set it up at a specific time in the course of the day, because if it's a lifestyle goal, it means it has to have space every single day. Otherwise, it will not become an easy part of your life. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Your desire to get a therapist, we want it to no longer be a plan. We want to get it to I am seeing or working with a therapist. If that's something you want to, I'm working with, so that then you can shorten the preparation phase of looking for and actually move as quickly as you can to starting doing the work. Because when we get stuck in preparation mode, it convinces our brain that we are doing something, but we are not. We are simply preparing. Most preparation, it positions us to do better than not preparing, but it doesn't give us any results. Good, thank you, James. Let's hear from Judith. What are your 10?
Okay, my first goal is I'm learning R program each day, spending 1.5 hours. I'm intentional to grow myself. I'm saving towards having 5,000 US dollars anytime for emergency funds. I'm attending all my meetings well prepared to share. I'm having 30 minutes exercise each day. That is at 7 in the morning. I'm having 1 hour devotion each day over lunch hour. That is from 12 to 1 here. I am mentoring my children, helping them to understand themselves and know their purpose, and I'll be spending time with them from 5 to 7 p.m. each day. And I am publishing 1 manuscript as first author. I am waking up at 4:30 a.m. I am leading qualitative and quantitative analysis teams for the projects we're doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Judith. I love what you've done specifically with the lifestyle goals, because it's when we set lifestyle goals, sometimes we are slightly more ambitious than our lifestyle can accommodate. So for example, I can want to work out for 1 hour every day, then I can want to be on the phone with my family in Kenya for an hour, such that when I look at how much I have to do in a day, and then how much more I want to fit in, sometimes it doesn't work out. So when you set a lifestyle goal and you apportion it a specific slot in the course of the day and a specific amount of time, then when you draw your whole schedule, it becomes easy for you to figure out whether it's something sustainable or not. I would rather exercise for 10 minutes every day if it's going to be sustainable than intend to practice to exercise for an hour if it's not going to be sustainable. So I love what you've done, Judith, and particularly the fact that the highest goals in terms of taking you to the vision that you shared with us have remained at the top, running R and preparing for your meetings and starting to work towards becoming a first author on an article, because then that leads you on the journey to becoming a more competent researcher and eventually getting your PhD. Thank you, Judith. Let's hear from Ndungi.
Good day to everyone. My goals for the year. I am transitioning from trading stocks to CFDs. I am putting 2 hours each day into my financial markets course with MIT. I am spending 30 minutes each day practicing academic writing. I am mindful and look at everything with gratitude. I am reflecting for an hour each day at 7 p.m. I have added 30 more minutes in my full body workout from 5:30 to 7:30, and yeah, I have only 5. Yeah, so yeah.
What happened? What happened to your other goals?
I shredded them, yeah, because most of them, yeah, over the weeks, I have ticked them off from my Six Sigma to yeah.
Wait, you attained your Six Sigma during this breakthrough challenge?
Yeah, it's in my LinkedIn profile. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You attained your Six Sigma already. So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. All right. So that deserves this. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the other ones are on clarity. I am gaining clarity through reflecting an hour each day. So I think most of my lifestyle goals have incorporated them in the reflecting for an hour each day and practicing what I've learned
Yeah.
and putting it into action each day. Yeah.
Trust me, you have your foot on the brake. I can promise you that 100%. You have your foot on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
brake. Goals are going to emerge. Then you will figure out as they keep emerging. Don't suppress any goals that emerge. But I'm very happy for you. You've okay. You are proving to us that if you put it down, you get it ticked off quicker because it comes to the top of your attention. So thank you you just inspired me. Like, oh, you have really ticked that one off.
It's something that I'd been lagging behind for a few
Yeah,
months.
that's
So
it.
I
Yeah.
just went in and I finished the few curated MOOCs and yeah, I got the certificate last week.
That was a source of tension that you have released, so that it's no longer one of those things that keeps coming to your mind. In fact, if anything, now you've already sort of inspired yourself just by ticking this one off, and the next one will feel even better. So thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, I would encourage you to it's reflecting an hour every day when you are beginning can be, you can sit there and your mind is blank. I would encourage you to just approach it gently, even if it means you just sit down and jot ideas. That's what I usually encourage people to do is initially to combine your thinking time and your writing time with your reflecting time. When you're doing an hour over the weekend, reflecting over the content of the whole week, that seems like you have enough content to reflect on. But for every day, you want to combine all those activities until it eventually becomes a habit. Then when it becomes a habit, you can now use that time to really go deeper. But initially, even if all you do is just sit down and run the tapes of the day, write down every activity that you did, write down the names of every person you met, and try to feel what kind of emotions you experienced in the course of the day, so that initially you're just working on increasing the depth of your awareness, and then subsequently you can now start developing thoughts and inclinations and expressing them. So combine that work, make it a thinking time, make it a run the tapes again time, make it a reflecting time too, but also make it the writing time, so that when you sit down, you initially your mind is going to keep running everywhere. But if you have a place to write and you're jotting down and you have like a structured way to reflect, then it becomes easier. Make sure you do it to the best you can. Do it in the same place and at the same time every day. Otherwise, it becomes harder for it to grow on you as a habit. So thank you, Ndungi, for that reflection. Let's hear from Victor.
Oh, hi everyone. Okay, my 10 goals. One of them is learn Java 4 hours a day, invest 20% of my income, do meditation, exercise, and reading for 1 hour, 20 minutes each. And then this one, clear my debt in 1 year. Do reflect on what did I write here? Oh, reflect the outcome of the day from 9 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Do exercise every day towards the achieving a minimum kg of 90. I'm past 90. Create a new connection every day, and then reduce social media to 1 hour a day, at least 1 hour. And then increase my chess trainers to 5. This one is challenging. Mine are not 10. I think
That's
they
okay.
also
That's okay. Read them.
they have also reduced. Basically, these are there's one on create a curriculum and education for my education company, 1 hour a day. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the important thing is one of the biggest things that I want everybody to take away from today is that if you have a lifestyle goal, you need to think realistically about how much time you will be able to apportion to it every day, and to also think realistically about whether it would fit into the slot of the day you want to place it in. So that if, for example, I want to read and exercise and reflect and exercise and practice a new language, and I want to do all these things in the morning, and I have given them an hour each, if it's going to require 4 hours in the morning, there is a good chance that I won't make it. So you make it a realistic amount of time, you give it a realistic slot in the day. So your lifestyle goals need to be specific in terms of where they will fit into your life, so that eventually 2 months, 3 months from today, it ceases to be a goal. It has become part of you. That's why none of us is setting a goal here like, I want to breathe every day, because you are going to breathe. That's already done, right? It's no longer a goal. And that's what we want to do with all the other lifestyle goals. For example, pray, like wake up and pray. It can be a goal if you're not doing it consistently, but if it's already part of your life, it ceases to be a goal. It becomes part of who you are. None of us is setting a goal to wake up in the morning and practice writing your own name, because that's already done. There was a time when you were a little boy, little girl, when you would have needed to do that. But now you are past that point. So your lifestyle goals. And I can tell that for some of you, writing your goals every day sometimes has not been as easy as before. Don't fall off the track of writing your goals every day. Don't. Oh, if there is one thing you would do, even if you don't, I mean, of all the things we've spoken about, the single most important thing you can do is write down your goals every day. Write down your goals every day and write out the structure of your day the night before. Your brain knows what to do. Your brain will keep you on track, but it has to have a structure. Write down your goals, and also take off your foot from the brakes. Don't put your foot on the brake. You have more room in your life than you realize. But for you to stretch out, you have to allow things to emerge. And some of them you start trying them and then you let them go because you realize it doesn't fit in. But it's just allowing your mind to be creative and for your life to be open will create room. You never know, one idea is going to show up and it will change everything for you. So thank you, Victor, and everybody who has shared their goals with us so far. Let's hear from Wanjiru.
Thank you very much. My goals are work on my self-development by attending 1 hour every day for the House of Mastery, and also read one book, financial book, every 3 months. Number 2 is obtain a monitoring and evaluation certificate in 3 months. Therefore, I'm dedicating 2 hours of this activity every day. Number 3 is perfect my engineering skills. I'm starting off with learning the new FIDIC routes. I should learn this in 1 month. The other one is work on my spiritual growth by 30 minutes of devotion every day and 1 hour of group study every week. Group Bible study every week. The other one is work towards attaining 50 kgs weight through regular exercises of 30 minutes every morning, dieting and intermittent fasting, and also running or jogging 3 kilometers every weekend. The other one is dedicating 10 minutes of meditation every morning. The other one is saving 10% of my income for my venturing in farming. The other one is creating a weekly schedule and following it to the latter. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like that your goals have, most of your goals have been broken down to the input that will go into making them a reality. And some of them you need to still go a little further. So for example, get a monitoring and evaluation certificate in 3 months. I would like you to move closer. The closer you move to the day, the better in terms of, in the course of the day or in the course of 1 week, how would I know that you are on track? And if you have any learning goals, please listen to yesterday's session. If you have any learning goals, because you don't want your learning or your reading or your studying to be a waste of time, because sometimes it can be, because unfortunately we carry the structure of reading and learning we picked from high school almost for the rest of our lives, when that structure is not effective. If the structure of reading and learning that we have in high school was effective, most of our high school teachers, within 15 to 20 years, almost all of them can get PhDs. But they don't. Why? Because they have never learned how to master the content, which is why you would find a teacher who has been teaching for 15 years, every time he shows up in class, he still has a notebook from which to teach that content. That's because our education system is not driven by mastery. And it's not accidental that I called this the house of mastery, because I believe that is where we get sold short. It's our education system is not driven to mastery. Yet for you, if you truly want to become an expert in an area, you're going to shift your mindset from learning to mastery. And that means the way you prepare to learn, the way you learn, the way you reflect after learning, you are becoming your own curriculum creator, you're becoming your own teacher, becoming your own examiner of the content you're learning. So any learning goal for everyone on the call, every learning goal, you're pushing yourself to make it as practical and as deep and as effective as you can, so that if you sit for 1 hour, it's an hour that you walk away having learned something in a way that you will never forget it. Listen to yesterday's session. You will pick some of the ideas that I believe have helped me come through the places I've come through. I learned part of that when I was in high school. I was in a school where for example, two of the teachers who were teaching, one was teaching me biology, the other one was teaching me chemistry. Both of those teachers scored way, way lower than I intended to score. I'm in class wanting to get an A in both of these subjects, but the people teaching me did not even have B planes in those subjects. And so I had to find my own way of learning it, such that I am priming myself for a high level of absorption and retention, and then testing myself at a much higher level of absorption and retention, where I would sit in class and there's some concepts I've studied. And it's not because I'm a genius or anything, it's just that I've discovered a certain way of learning that uses all the absorption power of my brain and makes it very easy for me to truly master that content. And sometimes I would find that I'm way ahead of where the teacher is at that time. And that's something that you and I can do today. We can do it in the areas we want to learn. And most importantly, we can learn it and then start teaching our children, so that our children are not dependent on the teachers. They can start literally creating their own curriculum from what is in front of them. And even when they are home, when they study, they're literally creating their own curriculum and their own pathway. So this is to apply for all our learning goals. So who have we not heard from? We haven't heard from Belin, and then Diba. Yeah, I think so. Belin, what are your top goals?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my goals are, number one, I want to become an expert in organic farming, and I'm spending 2 hours every day reading on plant health. I want to save at least 10,000 monthly towards implementing my organic farm. I want to save at least 10,000 every month towards owning a home. I want to go to bed by 11 p.m. every night. I want to take my son to bed every night myself. I want to write an organic blog once a month to share the knowledge that I am gaining from learning organic farming. I want to wake up 5:30 a.m. in the morning every day. And I want to grow spiritually, and I want to understand the Bible. So I want to read at least 3 chapters of the Bible every day, beginning with the New Testament. And I want to also save 5,000 every month between now and January, and then 10,000 going forward towards my school fees because I want to graduate my master's by the end of next year.
Wow, great. Thank you, Berlin. I will, this is my encouragement. For something like the Bible, which you will be reading for a long time to come, I would actually ask you to cut down and read a chapter instead of 3 and give yourself time to reflect about that chapter. So that then this is going to be a long-term lifestyle. You don't want to make it hard for you. Don't make it a time-limited curriculum that pushes you to feel. You want to make sure, this is so important, guys. You want to make sure that any goals that are going to become lifestyle goals, that you experience zero guilt around implementing them. This is so important. I don't know how else to say it. You want your lifestyle goals to be a source of zero guilt, zero, where lifestyle is long-term. You want to make it easy. You want to make it enjoyable to do it so that it becomes part of your lifestyle. And that's why I usually encourage people, for example, if you have been waking up at 7 in the morning, I don't want you to suddenly want to wake up at 4. You're punishing yourself, you're making it unpleasant, you are creating a source of guilt. I would rather, if you've been waking up at 7, you start waking up at 6:45 for 3 weeks, then you move to 6:30, then you move to 6:15, gradually, because this is a lifestyle goal. You want it to be a source of zero guilt, zero bad feelings about yourself, so that it doesn't become a measure on which you beat yourself down. It becomes a measure on which you celebrate yourself. For example, I have a personal physical health goal that I am pursuing, but I detached that goal from my weight. I detached it from the outcome measures and focused on my forerunning, my lead measures, because this is a lifestyle goal. When I was an adolescent, I suffered enough of being compared to, and the kind of nonsense that happens during childhood and adolescence. I will not allow myself right now to create any guilt around my body. Instead, what I'm going to do is to focus on what is it I need to do. Intermittent fasting, number 1. Number 2, making sure I'm well hydrated. Number 3, making sure that the foods I don't want to eat, they don't get past the door of my fridge. So cleaning my fridge and cleaning my plate. And committing in advance, I created a list of foods I am not going to eat between now and December 31st. During this 90-day challenge, there's a list of foods that I will not touch. Those include things like pizza, things like fries, foods I know that are going to be available in places that I will go to. So I have made them onto a list in advance so that I make it easy, the specific activities that I do, that I pay attention to, so that I know for sure, without a doubt, that I will get to where I want. And there's no speed for me to get there. If I get there in an unhealthy way and I've been beating down myself, then it's not worth it. And it's not as healthy for me, because if this is going to be long-term, then I do not want it to be a source of guilt. I'm reiterating that point because it's extremely, extremely important. I have to create a certain realm or portion of my goals where there is zero guilt that comes from these goals. And if any of those goals threatens to make me feeling guilty about myself, then I will lower it further down until it's at a place where I have a healthy relationship with this goal. I won't be able to push myself on every goal. There has to be a certain realm, a certain range of goals where it is very easy and pleasant. In fact, I enjoy the process of doing this, so that then I can push myself in learning this language or this subject or this programming software. I hope that makes sense. And this is for everyone on the call. Then I love the fact that you're creating specific time for you to be with your son and for you to be the one taking him to bed by yourself. Those are some of those goals which it seems like a small goal, but you know in your heart how big that is, that it creates a routine that embodies with it very deep emotional and meaning, because that touches on impact, touches on legacy, it touches on freedom, because it gives you the highest level of energy, as long as now you decide that you will do it with intention. You decide that you will look into his eyes, so that he starts learning at an early age that it's okay for me to look my mom in the eyes. Because I am sure almost everyone on this call, looking your mom, your African mother in the eyes was not encouraged. It was met with a red slippers. Why are you looking? Am I your age mate? You're looking in my eyes. And it's not because they are bad mothers. It's just that's the environment they grew up in. And now we have the opportunity to teach our children, look them in the eyes and to tell them that I love you, with things that we never had. But most importantly, to give them an example of self-care, self-respect, self-discipline, where it's not just the words we tell them, it's how we live that inspires them. Thank you, Berlin, for sharing your goals with us. Let's hear from Diba. I know, Diba, you haven't finished setting your goals, but share with us what you have at this time.
Yeah, thank you. My 10 or so goals. My number one goal is I'm waking up at 4:45 a.m. Every day. I own a 3-bedroom apartment in Nairobi by April 2020. I'm saving 40,000 US dollars to fund my internal medicine residency by November 2021. I'm running for 20 to 30 minutes and doing planking for 2 to 3 minutes every day between 6 and 7 p.m. I'm reducing time spent on social media and allocating 30 minutes of my time for my family every day. I have won a Northern Pacific Global Health Research Fellow position for 2022. I read and understand Arabic by November 2021. I read a book or a scientific paper for 1 hour every day. I have published 3 epidemiological papers in recognized scientific journals by November 2021. Yeah.
Wow. You're probably the one who has been on in terms of the goal setting train shortest, but your goals are right to the point. And I know as you go along, you will refine them further. I don't have any other comments to make. I love, of all the goals you have, they are all beautiful goals, but I especially love the planking for 2 to 3 minutes. It sounds like a small goal until we do it. Planking for 3 minutes. It's one of those things I call truly high value activity. It takes a very tiny amount of time, just 2 to 3 minutes. But those 3 minutes feel like an hour, because I've been planking, and that's my aim, to get to 3 to 4 minutes, to actually plank for 3 to 4 minutes. And it's a beautiful one. It's because it doesn't take a lot of time, but it requires discipline, and it pushes your willpower to the wall till you have to hold on there. Parts of your body you never thought could tremble, they start trembling while you're trying to hold on. So thank you, Diba, for sharing those goals. Oh, Tobias is back. Tobias, do you mind sharing with us what goals you are working on right now?
Hello.
We can hear you.
For me, it's more of the morning routine. You can hear me?
Yes.
For me, it's more of the morning routine. So I wrote down goals to wake up in the morning for daily for the next 30 days and meditate, pray, morning jog, and drink unhealthy drink every morning. So I prepared for myself mint leaves. In my work, improve on my writing and typing skills, where I set aside 1 hour daily for typing as a course every day at 4 a.m. I procrastinated on the certificate for that. So I also want to improve on my energy and to encourage positive thoughts every day. So I do that by reading motivation books and listening to an audio when I'm chilling. My last goal is I want to reduce on my cigarette smoking. So that's one of the toughest, but it's the last one for me.
Yeah. Oh, that last goal, definitely. That's I've worked with many most patients, and sometimes just people who come as clients, and it's not a, it's one of those goals that will really truly test you. But yeah, prepare for it.
Okay.
And if you want to speak about it at some point, I would be happy to. I'm very busy right now. I don't find enough time to work individually with guys, but yeah, I wish you very well. You've mentioned a goal in there that I believe all of us, especially everyone who intend to write, I think particularly Elena, writing is in your sights. Learning to type fast is such a huge time saver. There's a software whose name I put in the chat box. I used that software to get to 45 words a minute. Now I'm probably maybe around 30 words, 50 words a minute typing. And my aim is to get past 75 words a minute. In other words, I want to be able to sit down in 30 minutes and I can type up to 3,000-4,000 words really quickly, as long as I already have the ideas. And you will be shocked what happens when you learn to type quickly, how much you can write in one setting. I published a book called Born to Win. I typed the entire thing by myself, and I wrote the content in terms of typing down that content. I typed that entire content in the course of 2 weeks, just sitting down, because I've already outlined the ideas, and just sit down and type it. Typing speed, reading speed, and the ability to memorize. Forget about cramming. The ability to remember intentionally. That's how I define to memorize, is to remember intentionally, where you have a list of 20 items and you can remember them in reverse order. Remembering, just like remembering the direction from where you are now to where you live, where you don't need to cram it. You know it, and you can describe the journey to and fro. So the ability to type quickly, the ability to read quickly, and the ability to memorize. These are superpowers. These are superpowers for you and I, if you want to really be efficient, be effective. So that if you have reflected for an hour about a subject you want to write on, you should be able to write that content in 15 minutes. And that saves you a lot of time, because sometimes typing holds us back. That software, you just need 1 month of practicing on that software. Buy it. I think it's about maybe 3,000 or 4,000. Buy it, install it on your laptop. In a month, you will be churning 10 times the number of words you are producing today. And if writing is in your sights, then what else would be better than that? Thank you for sharing your goals. Now I want to give us an assignment, and I did this so that all of us can review goals. This week is about necessity. If we are going to be more efficient, it has to be because there is a reason. The reason is the vision we are pursuing. The reason is the goals we are pursuing. So for the next few minutes, I want us to turn our mindset to the vision. And we are not going to the written vision that you have, but to creating a visual reality at the end. And we are going to do this in bits for every week. So the practical work I told you this session was going to be practical. We've done the first part, sharing and hearing each other's goals and learning the twists and the turns and adjustments we can make to ensure that these goals are more effective. The bit I want to share with you now is an exercise that has had massive impact from when I started doing it. And this is about seeing and dealing with the end. Let's redo that. We've done this exercise before. Let's redo that exercise again. and use it to structure the rest of our journey, right? So write down your age. How old are you now? And what's the gap between now and 65? How much time do you have between now and 65? In fact, you could draw, I don't have a pen right now. My bag is very far from me. You could draw that bar again, right? You draw a bar, and on the extreme left, it's 0. It starts from 0, and at the very end, it's 65. And then halfway on the bar, mark where your age is today. And then subtract your current age from 65. Because if you haven't accomplished the goals you want to pursue by 65, you need to resign and, and go and retire. So we're taking 65 is an arbitrary point, but we are taking it as by 65. If you haven't learned French or Spanish, whatever you want to learn, you haven't learned to meditate, please give up. Give up, right? So take the two, take your current age, right, and subtract it from 65. The difference is what you have between now and 65, right? The difference you have is 65. Now take your date of birth, right? Your date of birth. What will be your date of birth when you turn 65? When do you turn 65? I want you to write that date down. When do you turn 65? The specific date, right? And now the exercises we are going to do this week will all revolve around that date. So you are turning 65 and we are meeting in a hotel. There are at least 300 people seated in this hotel, and people have finished eating. And now the people who know you are beginning to make speeches. And we are starting immediately with one of your siblings. We are starting these speeches with one of your siblings. We are starting the speeches with somebody from your family, okay? So today's exercise is for you to write 3 paragraphs of the things that they will say about you. The things that they will say about you. This week, we are speaking about necessity. When we do not have clarity of need, compelling need in terms of compassion to where we are going, sometimes it becomes very easy for us to lose track of what we need to do. There are self-realms of our goals, and we will delve into those in the course of this week so that all of us can realize that we have so much room in some of the areas that we actually need to make sure that we have specific goals in those areas. Because otherwise, and when we do this exercise, otherwise you will realize that you can actually live, you can continue living in a way that eventually you start to think that this is imbalanced. And it becomes imbalanced because sometimes we get so sold onto one goal and we don't pay as much attention to the other areas. So for today, we are starting off by thinking about having lived the balance of your years between now and 65. And we have now met during your birthday to celebrate your life. And we are going to call several people to speak. For today, I would like you to write a paragraph. I want you to write a paragraph about what somebody, it may be one of your parents, maybe one of your siblings. You might, if you have enough time today, you might decide to do what your brother would say, what your sister would say, what your mom would say. You might do several people, but I would recommend rather than doing several people, maybe 2, at most 3. Otherwise, if you just focus on one person and you truly get a clear picture, how they would describe you, how they would describe your discipline in terms of your physical discipline, your health disciplines, how they would describe your habits, how they would describe your relationship skills, your attitude, how they would describe your behavior around finances, how they would describe your learning, how they would describe your interpersonal skills, even with people beyond the family. In other words, they are giving us, they are painting for us a picture. This person who has been called by the family has gone to the podium, and all the 300 of us who value you are listening. And we are getting a clear picture by them describing you, how you have lived between today and 65. So what shall we hear? And tomorrow, you will pick another piece. We will pick another piece for you to write about. But for today, in fact, today, please limit yourself to a maximum of 2 people. Otherwise, one person is sufficient, because the aim is not for you to get everybody's view. The aim is for you to start figuring out what is your hidden definition of success? What is your hidden definition of what's most valuable? You start writing it out today and getting in touch with it, so that way we are creating a higher reality that can pull us with the goals that we have. Because most of the goals we have, they try to push us, and that is not as powerful as being pulled towards a future that we want to make a reality. You don't have that much time. Between now and 65, you don't have that much time. You don't have that much time. If you take away the time that gets wasted, if you take away all the weekends, look at how yesterday went, right? How many hours of true productivity did you get yesterday? And when you think about the next 6 months, there is an emotion you have about what value you might actually get out of the next 6 months or out of the next 1 year. You don't have as much time as you think. I don't have as much time as I think. And the sooner I realize that, the sooner you realize that, the quicker we actually get down to the serious work of living, realizing that today is the final performance and it's not coming back. The session we've had today was a final performance. It's not coming back. 65 is just here. 65 is here. It's not very far. While I'm still healthy, while I still have my sane mind, while I still have my physically agile body that I can strengthen, while I still have this time, I can generate energy and I can focus my attention. I still have room to do what I can. Because tomorrow is not promised to you or to me. Tomorrow, all of us here on this call, who among us can say that 5 years from today that you will be here, that you will be healthy, that you will be doing what you want? We don't know. At least we know we have today. This afternoon, this morning, we have today. And today, we can choose to be clear about what kind of story we want to hear at 65. If we are blessed enough to be there at 65, if I am blessed enough to be seated in that room, there are some things I would love to hear. There are some things that would be worth no amount of money, that would be worth everything for me. And nobody else can create those things for me, except if I start doing them for myself. Starting setting goals today for myself. Starting to say no to the immediate so that I can pursue the ultimate. Saying no to the immediate. Here is what I have learned in my very short life, and I hope I continue to learn. What you need eventually, what you need most, is rarely what you want right now. So the question is, am I going to allow what I want right now to cost me what I need eventually? And that is the foundation of necessity that we are speaking about this week. What is it that is going to necessitate you living at a higher level than you've lived before? What is it that is going to necessitate you making the sacrifices you have to make and say no to the immediate because your eyes have seen and they have valued and they are pursuing the ultimate? Between what you want now and what you truly need eventually, which of these two is going to win? Is social media going to win, which is what you want now? Or is your own reflection and learning going to win, because that's the one thing that is going to empower you to live the kind of legacy you want, to have the kind of impact you desire, to enjoy the kind of freedom nobody can give you? and to live with a level of energy that will be so contagious wherever you go. People remain speaking about you and thinking about you because you showed up and you manifested a level of energy that they are not used to. So your assignment today, take one person from your family, make it the one person that whose opinion you care about the most. If it's one of your parents, take that person. If it's one of your siblings, take that person. If it's your spouse, take that person. If it's one of your children, take that person. It doesn't matter whom you take. The question is, what is it that arises from within you as the kind of things you would want them to say? Please create time to do this. And this is where the integrity hits the road, because here it is you and your vision and your paper. There's no one there. It's just you and your vision and your papers, and you writing it down. Create time today and do this exercise. And let's begin with a level of intention this week that we haven't even applied to any of the other weeks, so that this week helps us draw yet again another line. We have dealt with clarity, but now we are taking clarity to a higher level because we have a necessity, we have a compelling necessity that we have to push us to create more clarity. And we are creating clarity of vision, clarity of legacy, impact, freedom, energy, so that the more clear it becomes, the more compelling it becomes, the more inevitable it becomes that we have to start living differently, because 65 is just here. 65 is just here. And yet, we are not assured about 65. I do not know how long I will be here, but I know that I have been given today, the 9th of November, and I'm going to the hospital. I do not know these patients that I'm seeing today, whether I will ever meet any of them again. All I can do is show up and serve them best way I can for today. When tomorrow comes, I will wake up and say thank you. I have yet another day, right? And if this continues until I get to 65, I will be the happiest man I would ever be, because I've been blessed with a gift. And now finally, I get to hear these stories. And hopefully I get to hear some of those stories before 65. But for now, I'm using 65 as a point towards which I'm being pulled, so that when I get there, there will definitely be a celebration. I sometimes hold myself from eating chapatis. When I'm 65, please bring all those chapatis to me, because what else am I waiting for? Do this exercise today. And let's meet again tomorrow and pick another piece to make this week count. This is the Breakthrough Challenge. My name is Dr. Mogire from the House of Mastery, and I wish you an amazing life. Continue living with passion.